Hi, Barbie. Just a bit of caution. This episode is part of an 8-week series on the Trans Allegory of the Barbie movie. And there's going to be so many spoilers, just like so many you don't even know. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, definitely do that first. You won't regret it, though. It's amazing. Okay, on with the show. Welcome to Tilly's Trans Tuesdays. Tillyvision chugs along with the intentional trans allegory of Barbie the movie, Part 4, Problems Abound. Hi, I'm Tilly Bridges, your host, and I'm joined by my writing partner, my best friend, my wife, our token cis representation, the lady who's never been a problem for me, Susan Bridges.
I think that's a lie.
Listen, when you have to write 8 of these in a row, it's really hard, okay? I really get a break between having to do your little intros, and you're not a problem for me. Sometimes, just a little aggravating in the way humans can be. It's fine. I love you, though.
Oh, that's nice. Aww. Let's move on. Let's not dig into this right now.
And our returning guest for the Barbie discussion, Millicent Alexis Book. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
All right. 29 minutes, 39 seconds. Barbie and Ken get outlandish Western outfits. After the rough experience being perceived as trans, Barbie pulls back to all pink. Ken's neckerchief is also pink. No, that was too hard. I can't live like that. Back to telling myself I'm cis. Still won't work. 29 minutes, 48 seconds. Hey man, you guys gotta pay for that stuff. They run because they have no money. A little thing, sure, but guess what lots of trans people don't have? Because we lose our jobs and homes once the world knows we're trans and people won't hire us.
My heart goes out to everybody in that situation. We're not making light of it. It's absolutely a true, real thing.
It is.
Oh my goodness. I wish I was rich just so I could share the wealth.
Right? To support all of the poor trans people that have lost so much.
Although that's also shows the juxtaposition between Barbie Land, where everyone has what they need. When you can afford, when you can afford it and you perform, you get rewards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in the Matrix, I didn't see any signs of people suffering. They were all conforming and they were all in a society that looked like it functioned very well, but we knew the truth.
30 minutes, 8 seconds. Barbie. I just need to clear my mind so I can think. And to do that, she needs Ken away from her. Anywhere away from her. 31 minutes, 4 seconds. Ken sees all the manly man stuff, including 2 cops on horses. He just repeatedly saw cops sexually harass Barbie, but he's not put off by that. He sees men are everywhere and in charge of everything. This is Barbie realizing all the ways society rewards you for conforming to the false cis binary. Look, you can have power, prestige, riches, control. This is how society works for people, especially cis men. Matrix Reloaded, Revolutions, and Resurrections also explicitly deal with the way society rewards you for conforming to the cis-binary and denying your transness and the new problems that causes. 31 minutes, 40 seconds. Barbie's at the bus stop with eyes closed, listening to herself. She's getting in touch with what she thinks is the little girl inside, Sasha, who's becoming distant as she ages. Note Sasha starts in earth tones and moves to a blue and pink dress. 32 minutes, 32 seconds. When Sasha is dropped off at school by her mom, Gloria, they're in a royal blue car. Barbie is connecting with her inner self, and Sasha goes to Davy Crockett Junior High School. Look at that sign. Davy Crockett, home of the frontiersmen. Barbie's little girl inside spent her childhood in a place dedicated to being a tough, manly man, doing what was expected of her, and it disconnected her from the girl she was inside. The genius of that school name.
Yes, and it very much reminds me of my own childhood where, the suggestion of being rugged, manly person was imposed upon me, but I really wanted to go into Toys R Us and go into those forbidden 2 pink aisles.
Right? Oh my God. They were like a siren calling you.
Right? And the shame I felt was, society imposing itself upon me. It was not something that I generated within myself.
Yeah. 32 minutes, 45 seconds. Barbie cries, feeling the loss of and reconnecting with her inner little girl that she didn't get to be. That felt achy, but good. Phew, if that ain't trans grief over lost childhoods we didn't get to experience, I don't know what is. See the Trans Tuesdays on it, episodes 48 and 49 of this podcast. 33 minutes, 15 seconds. Barbie's noticing the world, the real world, for the first time and how beautiful it all is, sharing and feeling the emotions of those around her. When dysphoria lessens due to transition, even just a little, a whole new world opens up to you. See the Trans Tuesday on Into the Unknown, a.k.a. What is Happening, a.k.a. A Whole New World, for when this exact thing happened to me. And you can see it continue in Freeing Up My Brain, a.k.a. Lunch with Tilly, when less dysphoria opened me up to even more experiences that I'd missed out on for my whole life. Both of those are available at TillysTransTuesdays.com. 33 minutes, 36 seconds. Barbie turns to the older woman at the bus stop with her. The older woman is in earth tones. She's real, the truth. Barbie, you're so beautiful. Older lady, I know it. They share a smile and laugh. This is Barbie connecting with her possible future and thinking it would be beautiful because it is and she is. And I can hear you saying, but Tilly, how could there be connection if Barbie isn't in royal blue? What do you think I am, some kind of rube? I thought he would have trusted me by now, because did you look at the bus stop that Barbie is in? The bench, the poles, all royal blue.
This is a great opportunity for me to just say all of this is written down as well for anybody following along and maybe they're having trouble keeping up with audio. There is a written format that Tilly updates and creates and shares, and there are photos, and it really illustrates a lot of these points. So if you are having trouble, like my dear mother, bless her heart, following along with a whole bunch of audio podcasts, go to TillysTransTuesdays.com and look up the text. I will send you the link myself, Mom.
That's right. Social media and Google Doc versions all have multiple screenshots from the movie about things I'm talking about. So they will help you get a better handle on those things.
Absolutely. And the visual presented in this text format that you've presented shows the bus stop, and it is a framework all around illustrating the connection between Barbie and this older woman. And they are as mirror images, with the frame of the bus stop being just perfectly aligned between the two of them, and the lines being drawn by the bench itself is like an equal sign or a straight connection, just reaching out and tying these two images together. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's the future that she could have if she has the courage to get there. But before Barbie can think any more about that future she longs for, 33 minutes, 59 seconds, Ken comes crashing back. That false shell of a dude is still hanging around, damn it. 34 minutes, 32 seconds. The Mattel offices. Here's another direct visual reference to The Matrix. The ground-up shot of the Mattel skyscraper is a direct reference to the metacortex skyscraper Neo works in The Matrix. I need you to understand what Barbie is telling you here. If you've not read Begin Transmission, The Trans Allegories of the Matrix, here's a very brief summation, and yes, I am going to quote myself. Shut up. The cortex is the outermost layer of an organ, the surface level. Most commonly known is the cerebral cortex, which among other things controls our perception and memory, things vital to our own knowledge of our true self. Meta means to go beyond, to transcend. Neo is trapped in a drab, mundane life he hates inside the metacortex. To become his true self, he has to transcend the boundary of his memory and perception of himself by escaping the building. This is not a fluke. Barbie references the Matrix here as everywhere else with intent. They're telling you exactly what Mattel stands for in Barbie's life. Mattel is Barbie's own metacortex, trapping her in a false perception of herself. And once you see the inside, it's drab and lifeless. This is more than just a joke about office culture and corporate drones, but we'll get there in a bit. 34 minutes, 34 seconds. The split screen between Mattel and the FBI offices. What I love about this shot is that it shows you that the enforcers of the system of oppression, police, FBI, security guards, etc., are just as much drones as the office workers are. Look how they're literally boxed in. But when you intentionally choose to uphold the systems of oppression, you are rewarded for it and quote-unquote allowed to express yourself and liven up your work area. But you're no less a puppet of the system. And we talked about those societal rewards before.
I just want to add, there is the box imagery once more, and the society traps cis people in their boxes just as much as it does everybody else.
Absolutely.
The idea that we all have to conform is omnipresent, and it very much was a part of my journey when I began transition. When I mentioned earlier, my eyes were open.
Yeah.
I was able to see just so much more vibrancy and life in the world and experience things that I'd never experienced before as a part of my journey of leaving conformity behind. And that is amazing.
It is. This movie is so genius. It blows my mind. It's oh my God. Okay.
Absolutely.
Here's one of my favorite bits that I found. 35 minutes, 22 seconds. The button to go all the way up and see the people in charge. If you look closely, the numbers for the other floors go up to 100. So what floor would all the way up be based on the numbers? 101. In The Matrix, when Neo began his journey of realizing and accepting his transness, his apartment number was 101. He later successfully makes it to 303, where we first met Trinity, and begins his new life as an out trans woman. In Matrix Reloaded, the Merovingian, who is a trans person who squashed their truth and continued pretending to be cis to attain the rewards of society, and to stomach it had to pretend he never had the choice to transition, was also on floor 101. Like, I don't even know how to explain to you how significant this is. Not only are they showing you the executive floor is the start of Barbie's journey, it's also a place people get trapped in by denying their own truth, be it intentionally or by lying to themselves. Do you see what they're telling you about Barbie going in there? This is huge. And if you really want to feel the weight of it, the full impact of it, listen. I don't know what to tell you. Read Begin Transmission. That's what I wrote it for. 35 minutes, 29 seconds. Gloria is drawing Barbie in her pink Western outfit. Look how sad the drawing looks in her facial expression. Look at the drawing on the left with royal blue tears. And do you remember what I said to you about pink and blue together? Gloria is drawing, upholding the lies of society by working at the company that oppresses Barbie. That it's Gloria doing this is super important. There's more evidence for this later, but that Gloria drew those royal blue tears shows you connection. To who? Who is she drawing? Barbie. If Gloria's daughter, Sasha, is the little girl inside Barbie that she never got to be, what does that make Gloria? The adult woman Barbie is inside. Unlike The Matrix, where Trinity was a manifestation of Neo's self-actualization and who he wanted to be after transition, Gloria is not that. She's Barbie's internal adult woman, if that makes sense, which it will more so later on. Just trust me for a bit, we'll get there. But Gloria is here working at Mattel as Neo worked at Metacortex, crushed and upholding the systems of oppression without realizing it, because Barbie hasn't yet woken up to the truth of her own transness and societal transphobia. 34 minutes, 45 seconds. Irrepressible thoughts of death Barbie, full-body cellulite Barbie, crippling shame Barbie. If Barbie thinking about dying was her thinking about change or transition, irrepressible thoughts of death means I can't stop thinking about transitioning. If cellulite appearing on Barbie was symbolic of her desire to transition to being a human woman, then full-body cellulite equals full transition. And how does society make trans people feel when we realize we're trans and want to transition? like it's shameful and wrong. And there's also something to be said about how when you can't stop thinking about transition and what you should, could, and hope to be, irrepressible thoughts of death and crippling shame on the surface level also ring up gender dysphoria, which is going to wash over you and threaten to drown you in the dark and deep if you don't do something about it. These few simple lines are so genius because of all the levels they work on. There's more on dysphoria if you need it in episode 59 of this show. And look at the drawing Erin holds up. Pink and blue together. Transness. But she's looking at the yellow line and the yellow by the other woman, and the black splotchy darkness separates them. Really, you do need to see these to really get it, so please check out the text and social media versions of this and look at the screenshots. Pause the movie. Study those drawings.
Mm-hmm.
That yellow is an earth tone. The trans woman is looking at the truth that she is, in fact, a woman, but can't see it clearly due to the darkness of the dysphoria swimming around her head. This one image says so damn much.
And it's so interesting, too, that Gloria, being her inner woman, is by the executive room, the executive place being a word meaning the decision making, the choices going on. I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words, but she's just outside of that room. She's kept outside of it, but she's there.
Yeah. 36 minutes, 3 seconds. The top brass that are all the way up are a bunch of cis men talking about empowering girls without actually talking to any women or girls. They're deciding what's best for everyone without our input or consent. They're in suits, agents of the system. Yes, like the Matrix, you knew I was going to say it. Come on. There's more evidence for this in a little bit, but I want to take a second to point out how cis men deciding what's best for girls and women without talking to them is also exactly what they do to us trans people. 36 minutes, 10 seconds. They believe they sell dreams and imagination and sparkle, female agency, but only as long as you conform to what their ideas of that are. What they actually sell is indoctrination into the false cis binary. Look at the pink drumsticks, the CEO's pink shirt and pink tie, the pink chairs, the pink heart light over the table. Lies, 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 lies.
And the CEO is saying words that don't even make sense when you put them together because they don't understand.
They do not.
It's very much like they're just going through the motions and doing the bare minimum by just having some pink stuff and saying, look how great we are. We're totally loving women and we believe in them. And yeah.
It also reinforces my bias that CEO is the easiest job in the world. So why is it the highest pay?
A good question. 37 minutes, 41 seconds. Gloria overhears them talking about Barbie in the real world and is confused. She thinks that you can't self-actualize and leave the fantasy, Barbie, land of the false cis binary, which is what so many of us are raised to believe. 38 minutes. The CEO, cis-het white man in charge, says Barbie getting out would be catastrophic. He knows the danger of letting trans people self-actualize and disprove the lies of Barbie land, a.k.a. the false cis binary. 38 minutes, 18 seconds. CEO. No one rests until this doll is back in a box. They're literally boxing us all in. You will conform and fit in your box because to not is a danger to everything cishet white men built and control.
Yeah, and gosh, isn't that not just such an overt threat to put her in a box? Death being a metaphor for change is one thing, but put her in a box is a metaphor for death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Society would rather see us dead than transition.
It's such a harsh truth, but it's true.
It is, yeah. 38 minutes, 59 seconds. Barbie finds the little, now teen, girl, Sasha, at a table with her friends. 39 minutes, 30 seconds. The response from the kids is not what Barbie was hoping for. It's all stunned silence and looks. Sasha, who are you? The little girl inside doesn't recognize her because conforming to the rigid gender binary was never what she wanted or who she was. 40 minutes, 35 seconds. Sasha, you've been making women feel bad about themselves since you were invented. You represent everything wrong with our culture. Sexualized capitalism, unrealistic physical ideals. Barbie. Barbie is so much more than that. Sasha, You set the feminist movement back 50 years. You destroyed girls' innate sense of worth. Okay, so there's this thing that trans women especially have to deal with, where society says a woman is X. And so to be seen as the women we are, we feel we have to conform to those things, even if they're not who we really are. Cis society upholds this in all kinds of ways. If I put makeup on before going out, I'm much more likely to get gendered correctly by people I interact with because I am conforming to their idea of a woman. Even though I personally like makeup, that's irrelevant. See the Trans Tuesday on Misgendering and Passing for more info, episode 34 of this show. And somehow even worse than that is that we used to be required, yes, damn it, required, to conform to stereotypes just so cis people would allow us the medical care we need. Again, see the Trans Tuesday on Transmedicalism and WPATH Standards of Care 1, episode 60 of this show. So when we don't want those things, don't want to be those things, it can be extra hard to even realize our transness, much less figure out who we really are. Matrix Resurrections deals with this too, about the expectations of women affecting trans women.
And I think that's actually an important distinction because makeup is not the problem.
No.
Expectation is the problem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you sometimes end up with women with this backlash where they're like, if you wear makeup, you're just playing into everything. Therefore, you need to not wear makeup.
Right.
And it doesn't actually matter whether or not you wear makeup.
It's just forcing conformity in the other direction.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think, I don't want to be that kind of woman, so maybe I'm not a woman, even though we are. And do you know what so many of us do then? Try to double down on manhood and playing the part that wounds us. So what does Ken do? 41 minutes, 43 seconds. Ken gets books. Why Men Rule, literally, and the origins of patriarchy. If you look at the shelf of books, they're all about things that conform to the narrow idea of what society says men can be. Let's learn how to be a man and do that. That'll make transness go away.
Let's do toxic masculinity, performative masculinity, and all those things that suggest that we're a man to other people so that we can put on the play that we are a man.
Exactly right. We will get a lot more into that next week. Thanks for being here, Lexi.
Thanks for having me on Tillyvision. I got it right this time.
Next week, you're going to get strong, irrefutable proof, truly, of transness in Barbie, a whole lot more Matrix connections, and we'll see if Barbie can escape her own metacortex and what that means for her. Tilly Bridges, end transmission. Tilly's Trans Tuesdays is hosted by Tilly Bridges and Susan Bridges with audio editing and sound mixing by Jillian Morgan. The Google Doc and social media versions of this week's topic and all past topics are available at Tilly'sTransTuesdays.com. Special thanks to Daisy and Jane for the use of Sorry Not Sorry as our show's theme music. Please stop by and show your support at daisyandjane.bandcamp.com and soundcloud.com/daisyandjane. You can find me at Tilly Bridges on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Hive, on Mastodon at TillyBridges at mastodon.social, at facebook.com/TillySBridges, and on Insta and Threads at Heck Yeah Tilly Bridges. And you can find Susan on most of those at Susan L. Bridges. You can find Jillian at Audio Jillian on Blue Sky. You can join the Tillyverse Discord server by following the link at the very bottom of Tilly'sTransTuesdays.com. We hold regular watch parties for the Matrix films and other trans movies where I do a live Q&A, and it's blossomed into a wonderfully supportive, compassionate, kind community of friends. We'd love to have you join us. For more information, visit pendantaudio.com. Thanks for listening.